Don't you just hate when a recipe lies? Hi everyone, it's Tasha and welcome to another recipe video. And today we're going to be making super easy 4 ingredients custard berry puffs. In fact, one of the ingredients barely counts as an ingredient. It's just an egg which is used as an egg wash to glaze the pastry. You could probably even get away without it. But I thought I'd be extra honest because I'm really tired of seeing recipes online which are like 15-minute brownies or 3 ingredient this or that, and then you look at the ingredients and it's got the 3 ingredients, and then in the instructions itself it's like add a little bit of milk, add a little bit of butter, add a pinch of salt, and these ingredients aren't listed in the main ingredients list, maybe because the author assumes that because they're common household things they don't count. They count, and also the recipes that claim to be 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minutes, and when you're actually cooking them yourself, it's more like half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour. So absolute honesty here, I'm going to call it a 4 ingredient recipe. But like I said, you could actually do away with the egg and have a 3 ingredient recipe. I do think it helps with the structure in this recipe though, because in this one I'm not just using it as a glaze, I'm using it as a kind of glue. Most people don't, but this is just the way I like to do it. This is perfect to whip up for a quick breakfast or even dessert, and because everything is pretty much ready made, all you need to do is assemble it and pop it in the oven. It is also genuinely fast. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, let's preheat the oven to 180 degrees C. And now I'm going to unroll a sheet of ready-made puff pastry. This is the all butter stuff. And now I'm going to cut it into 6 squares, and I'm going to do it with a pizza cutter because it's a little bit faster. Let's set these aside for a second. And we're going to work directly on a baking sheet which I've lined with some non-stick baking parchment so we don't have to move stuff around. Let's bring over 1 square, I'm going to put it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score, or cut really, a square, but I'm going to leave a couple of corners uncut. Here's how you do it. That's it, just make sure that 2 opposite corners are not cut all the way through and 2 opposite corners are. I have an egg which I've beaten. This is going to help it stick a bit. I'm going to put it all along the corners. And we're going to bring one side over to the inner corner. Stick it down. And the other side over to this corner. As you can see, as I worked, the pastry was melting a bit, so you do have to work quite fast. Now we're going to put about a tablespoonful of ready-made custard right in the centre of them. And we're going to dot some berries on. And now I'm just going to carefully brush the edges with a little more of the beaten egg, and this is going to help give a nice glossy finish. And now we're going to bake these for about 15 minutes, 15 to 20, until they are golden and puffy, and we're going to do the others in a minute. I've got 2 more to do. I kept these ones in the fridge, so hopefully they'll be a bit easier to work with, so let's work fast. Ah yes, much easier. If you can, keep them chilled then. Okay, so what I suggest you do when you're making these, especially if you're using all butter puff pastry, which does have a tendency to melt, unlike the vegetable oil based one, is just to keep your day chilled for as long as possible. I'd say even after you score them into squares, put the whole thing in the fridge and then take them out one by one and fold them one by one. It'll be much easier. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glaze them now and then fill them, because I have a feeling that's going to be a little bit easier. Okay, that was so much easier than having to try and avoid swiping away the middle. Okay, now we can fill them. And I am going to keep these in the fridge until our first batch is baked, and then I'll pop these in the oven afterwards just to keep the pastry firm. God, how beautiful are these? We're going to let these cool down and we're going to bake our other batch. This one's now completely cool and our next batch is ready. And she is also beautiful. Let's let this one cool down too, and then we'll take some pics and then we'll take a bite. These are utterly adorable. Okay, I'm going to do a thumbnail now and then I'm going to cut into one. Head for scale. They're quite a good hefty size once they bake up, aren't they? On camera they look a bit small. Check out the lovely layers on the sides. Okay, I'm going to cut this open and then I'm going to eat it. Be right back. Wow, that looks juicy. Cheers. Perfect. Not overly sweet either, which is how I like this kind of pastry. The pastry's perfectly crisp and it just goes with that silky creamy custard really well. We've got the really tangy tart berries as well. If you want, you can also dust these with a little icing sugar before serving. I hate working with icing sugar, so no thank you. It's just so messy. But yes, that is always an option. But I love these as they are. And so quick too, they're really handy if you're craving a little something sweet. And you feel like you want to make something, but also you feel like you don't want to make something because then it'll take ages and you have lots of washing up after. This is awesome because it's quick and there's minimal washing up. In fact, I even used some of the baking parchment that this was rolled up in to bake it. I'll probably be doing a couple more really quick and easy recipes over the next couple of weeks because I am in fact, if I've timed it right, in China right now, going to visit my husband's family in the Sichuan province, and I cannot wait because Sichuan province is so good for food. I mean, you can say that about anywhere in China to be honest, but because I really love spicy food and Sichuan is the home of spicy food in China, I'm going to have a ball. But obviously because I'll be all the way over there and I'll be busy stuffing my face with hot pots and whatnot, I obviously won't be cooking in the kitchen here, so I'm going to pre-record, as I have just now, a load of easy recipes so I have something for you guys to enjoy while I'm away. And since I have to make a few batches of videos in one go, obviously I'm going to try and make them a little bit easier on myself too. Because even making a video like this is lots of work. Not just to think of new recipes and then making sure the quantities are right and then baking them and then filming it at the same time, and then you've got all the washing up and the putting away. But then there's the editing and the writing, which for a regular cake, not a cheats one like this, can literally take me hours. And I generally enjoy doing it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But when you have to make several in a week to stock up on content before you swan off on holiday, and you also happen to have a regular Monday to Friday job, it is tiring. So naturally I'm going to want to make a few easy things to make and edit. Okay, I'm going to go now because the more I chat, the more I have to edit. And I'm also wasting valuable snacking time. So there you go, 4 ingredient custard berry puffs. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too, I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. Give this video a like if you'd like to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. I honestly think I could eat 3 of these in one go.